Australia city volunteers distribute emergency cash and supplies to wildfire survivors. City Hong Kong chapter distributes care packages to solitary seniors and low-income families. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Siri Su. Thank you for joining us. In Australia's Kangaroo Island, a wildfire broke out in December 2019, and the fire went on for 3 weeks. But due to the pandemic, city's plan to care for local was postponed. Now the volunteers can finally visit and hand affected residents daily supplies and emergency cash.
The wildfires had scarred locals, and Tzu Chi volunteers have noticed it all this time. Volunteers' visits and distribution have been postponed due to the pandemic. Now volunteers are finally able to give out blankets, scarves, Jingsi food products, and emergency cash.
We were living out of Flinders Chase when the fires came through. We lost our house and nearly everything in it. The support we've received since then, though, has been amazing, and events like today, where you just feel the love, you know, it actually makes it much easier to sort of keep going.
A gap of 9 months since the last visit, the late gift arrived with sincerity and warmth.
I guess positive, you know, really uplifting just to know that there's people out there that are still interested in what's going on with our situation after all of this time, and getting put on the back burner now with all the COVID and everything else. That sort of, the bushfires don't seem to be all that important as what they were at the time. So just to have anything like this is just amazing at the moment.
I've been really happy to be part of the Tzu Chi ceremony here today on Kangaroo Island, showing lots of love and generosity to our community as they recover from their bushfire. And today has just been a very humbling and beautiful day.
64 families received gifts and blessings from Tzu Chi. They now are ready to move forward in life with the love and care from volunteers.
Changhua Tzu Chi volunteer Cai Kuan just had her 102nd birthday. She lost her husband at an early age, served as a midwife, and later raised 4 children independently. She joined Tzu Chi at the age of 70 and devoted herself to recycling for 30 years.
这是我们最敬爱的宝贝蔡关师姐102岁生日。
102 years old and can still hear and see and is bright. You have flexible hands and feet.
To do Tzu Chi work, you have to be in good health.
Cai Kuan started exercising at the age of 70. I am now in my 70s. I want to exercise now, though I am still way behind her.
My mother had a hard life but is very strong. My eldest sister was 11 years old and I was 9 years old.
Fortunately, I got a job in a health clinic. In the August 7th flu, I went over to Fan Ziluan. The midwife said, "I'll lead you." We went over many mountains. I'm soaked in a raincoat.
When I was reading, if I dozed off, she would hit me with a stick.
Looking back now, I'm sorry for those kids. I'm glad everyone is very caring.
For these families, she supports very good spiritual support, because for those who have suffered, encountering those of the same state can be reassuring. We went to the home to care recipients and she was very convincing.
Master said to do environmental protection. I started doing it.
真正还阁伫咧做，这是上价值啦。 生命吼，价值伫利用着，啊，你利用着呢，佫利用久吼，啊，佫无走进去，这吼是人事啦。我看了他这手没有比别人较低，也没有比别人高，总是那样的整齐呀，也没有慢，也没有快，总是呢那样的整齐和谐。
I went back and wrote 2 sentences once, 2 sentences once again, and I remember to go on and practice.
I remember that year when we were practicing it in the next year. None of the Tzu Chi brothers and sisters dared to say that they can't learn it.
那你就点姓名
姓名
嘿，然后它就会出现一个框框，那我们删除。
删除。
I didn't dare to use ebooks or mobile phone app if you think that Sister Cai Kuan is using it. We also need to use it. She's the best spokesperson.
最佳代言人。
Even on a typhoon day or cold weather, even though he is so old, she is still here at the intersection waiting for me as usual.
There's no way to get a better teacher. Her dharma is correct.
She used her life and used every moment to give to others. The reason why she can live so long is because she has been volunteering.
I'm very contented. I'm still very healthy. I'm still able to carry out Tzu Chi's missions. I'm grateful every day. I'm very happy to be with Tzu Chi. The land which Dongsi recycling station sits upon was originally an abandoned chicken coop, so the volunteers worked together to revamp the place.
Outside the storage place for gently used clothing and such, recycling volunteer Zhang Shuyi and her child painted a mural and recorded a time-lapse video of their progress.
The different sizes and colors of gears represent people with different skill sets and how we must all work together. The recycling station is an integral part of our natural ecosystem.
Dongshi Recycling Station in Yunlin has moved locations many times, and it is now finally settled at a place that's over 1,983 square meters. It used to be a former chicken coop, which the volunteers spent a lot of time and effort making the transformation.
This plot of land was provided to us by Mr. Chen for free. Our collection area includes the surrounding townships Tanxi, Mailiao, Dongshi, Baozhong, and Sihu.
Volunteers come from all walks of life, but when they arrive here, they are dedicated to upholding the recycling mission. The white fence is made from repurposed window frames.
It's welded using C-shaped metal, then screwed together. Some of the Tzu Chi brothers, when they had time, came to help.
The original chicken coop's tiled roof was disassembled and used as a foundation. Repurposing old yet still useful items makes this recycling station ever truer to its mission.
At the 20th anniversary of recycling, the ITV anchors have visited recycling stations around Taiwan. One of the visited recycling stations is in Yilan Su Town. This recycling station is the most eco-friendly place in Taiwan.
阿嬷，你几岁啊？
我76。
76岁哦。
The most eco-friendly and pure recycling station is right here. This recycling station doesn't have running water or electricity.
This is where we had a container room before, and if you walk further in, it's where our sorting areas were. This low-lying area here, Tzu Chi brothers early on dug these so the recycling trucks could pass by and not hit the bridge.
the recycling station had rough starts. Plenty of items and tasks were compromised due to inconvenient situations, yet volunteers are satisfied.
We used bamboo to create separate spaces. After doing so, we organized the land. We also connected and utilized the raindrops from the bridge to use as water at our station.
The tube connects into the bucket. After turning on the switch, water comes out.
I told the recycling volunteers we must overcome harshness and we must be hardworking and cherish materials. This is because we don't have water or electricity. We must work hard.
After 10 years, although things might have changed around the station, much remained the same.
I used very little water. When I was little, I picked buckets of water to farm. Therefore, I learned how to cherish water.
We normally use water from the cellar, but when there's no rain, we use groundwater. If there's no groundwater, we use tap water.
Plenty of volunteers start from their youth to senior age. From under the bridge to the newly renovated station, the 92-year-old recycling Bodhisattva had been volunteering with the same intention, providing a better environment for everyone.
I'm happy doing this. Everyone is also good. We talk to each other. It's very interesting.
City volunteers in Penghu hosted a vegetarian event, inviting the local community and their family members to attend. At the event, a team of doctors shared the benefits of a vegetarian diet.
Marinated tofu, vegetarian pot stickers, cold wood ear salad. The spread is worthy of a vegetarian buffet.
The dishes don't look like the one stores sell. I realized the Tzu Chi aunties put a lot of effort into making these dishes appealing, and everyone is enjoying the meal.
The fruit and vegetables we mostly commonly come into contact with, I'll read their names one more time.
To keep up a healthy lifestyle, one must know where nutrients come from. Thus, a team of doctors share with the audience some informative facts about vegetable and fruit therapy.
Vegetables influence our health very deeply. We can start by eating vegetables to heal our health, which is all very good for our body.
This is the vegetarian promotion event hosted by Tzu Chi volunteers in Penghu, where a volunteer shares her experience in being a vegetarian.
Today, our audience was mainly the family members of our Chi Ji brothers and sisters, family members of our volunteers, and a few members of the public. We want to promote vegetarianism to more people in the community.
Residents of Penghu, as they are surrounded by the ocean, have a habit of eating seafood. Thus, it is not so easy to promote a vegetarian diet in these parts. However, Tzu Chi volunteers persevere in making sure everyone is informed about the beauty of keeping to a vegetarian lifestyle.
Due to the pandemic, Hong Kong government banned gatherings, and the relief plan organized by Tzu Chi Hong Kong chapter was suspended. It was restarted in August. In cooperation with other charities, Tzu Chi volunteers have distributed more than 1,300 care packages to solitary seniors and low-income families.
The recycling truck is delivering lots of supplies. Chi Chi volunteers are busy unloading and moving them. The epidemic relief project hosted by Chi Chi Hong Kong chapter is still ongoing. This time the collaborator is St. James Settlement located at Changhua.
You have the supplies and we have the clients who need the service, so both of us fit in readily. We actually are very grateful and welcome the kind-hearted people from all walks of life to donate supplies to the elderly. We also thank Tzu Chi and Shangri-La Group for their sponsorship.
The epidemic in Hong Kong was unstable, and the local government imposed a ban on gatherings. Therefore, Chi Chi's operation of sending blessing packages was temporarily suspended in late July. However, because of the difficulty in life for low-income people, it restarted at the end of August.
Your donation we received this time can benefit about 400 families, including India, Pakistan, and Nepal, which are relatively low-income households.
Many ethnic minorities in remote places are easily ignored, but you have noticed their needs and launched this aid distribution with us. To me, it's really meaningful and can indeed help them.
In addition to providing subsidies for the needy families in city, volunteers also went to Cai Kuan village in Fanning to conduct home visits from house to house. Young people in the village went out to work, leaving mostly lonely seniors who were unable to work.
Mr. Chen, who led us the way into the village, grew up here and lived here for decades. He's familiar with neighbors and although enthusiastic. If any elders need assistance, he will definitely help. This time he led us to deliver gifts to different households.
In the two-day distribution, volunteers gave out a total of 1,319 blessing packages so as to alleviate the immediate difficulties of the elderly and people in need temporarily.
In response to the pandemic, Tzu Chi Indonesia chapter continued to distribute daily supplies to many poor villages. The most recent place volunteers went to was a village in Kangaroo.
Tzu Chi volunteers symbolically handed over daily supplies to the village chief, who was then assisted by military personnel in making a distribution from household to household.
Most of the residents here are farmers. Otherwise, they are working in factories. The epidemic led them to have almost no income, so we cooperated with Tzu Chi and helped distribute emergency daily supplies.
In response to the epidemic, Tzu Chi Indonesia continued to aid families in need. Located in Kiara Payong village in Tangerang, Tzu Chi provided free tuberculosis diagnosis and treatment in 1995. Now more than 20 years have passed, a new bond has been established.
Tzu Chi Indonesia chapter came to this village for a free tuberculosis clinic more than 20 years ago. I'm here again and I find that the sanitary conditions here have improved a lot. I'm very happy to connect with the villagers again.
I want to thank you very much for the Tzu Chi Indonesia chapter and the military to distribute supplies to the villagers in need. These daily necessities have helped the residents a lot.
As a head of the family, Ahmad has 4 children. The factory where he works has been suspended due to the epidemic. He has not had an income for almost a month.
Many companies are laying off employees now. I have no income for 3 weeks. Thank you for the supplies sent by Tzu Chi. It has allowed us to tide over our immediate difficulties for the time being.
The bond that was formed more than 20 years ago is now strong once again due to the coronavirus epidemic. Volunteers are sending love to the homes of people in need so that warmth and compassion can fill this village once again.
Due to the pandemic, the service industry is facing a tough challenge. In Jakarta, a hair salon carries out various prevention measures before a customer receives their haircut.
Moving on to the new norm, various businesses in Jakarta are finding new ways to weather through the pandemic. There's this hair salon where customers need to pre-register before getting a haircut. They need to have their temperatures checked, hands washed, and even being swab tested for the virus before entering. They also need to wear a mask throughout the haircutting process.
In our line of work, we'll come in close contact with our customers. To prevent the risk of getting infected by the virus, we conduct quick tests for other customers before entering the salon.
Before working, the hairstylist also needs to be tested and must be fully equipped with a protective gown, face mask, and face shield.
To be honest, I'm still a little afraid of the pandemic. However, seeing the salon carrying out all the preventive measures and all the workers have also been tested, we will be more relieved.
This particular hair salon does not receive payments by cash. They only receive credit payments. Due to the pandemic, the service industry is facing a tough challenge. However, these businesses can only capture the hearts of the customers if they abide to the strict epidemic prevention measures.
Today, volunteers from Banqiao district regularly visit a veterans home to care for the residents. Because of the pandemic, volunteers had to suspend their visits for several months. Fortunately, the most recent trip was in August.
Tzu Chi volunteers use music to create a lively atmosphere. Elders follow the rhythm, stretch their bodies, and sharing this happy time.
We mainly want to make them happy because I think many of these uncles stay in this place all day and there is very little entertainment. So we want to make them happy when we come once a month. We want to share all the music we have with them.
There are also volunteers who bring their sons to serve and care for these elders. Even if they are not related, they treat them like grandparents and grandchildren when they are together. The warmth of their companionship is touching.
Why do we have this affinity? It is because of the current summer vacation. I also hope he can see these uncles and aunts who fought for this country when they was young. Then when they are old, I have this opportunity to serve and interact with them.
They are sacrificing their time and disregard the things in their house. They took the time to come, and it's precious. Coming to our veterans' home is really sincere and touching. Thank you, Tzu Chi, for this event.
The outdoor space has become a mobile barbershop as Tzu Chi volunteers never stop serving, using their hands to take care of them.
Every one of you here has serving us very sincerely. We are really grateful.
Enthusiastic interaction makes the elderly smile. Even if it is brief company, this warmth will last in everyone's heart for a long time.
In Taiwan, as part of Tzu Chi's disaster risk reduction project, Tzu Chi has helped rebuild classrooms at Miaoli County Yuanli Senior High School. In the new semester, students attend classes mindfully. The new school buildings are very different from before.
The old building's classroom walls had cracks and there were patch marks on the floor. The new school building's hallways are wider. Since there is stone floor, we do not fall as easily.
There are Jingsa aphorisms on the classroom walls, so when I have worries in terms of interpersonal relationships, I can take a look and calm my mind.
Miaoli County Yuanli Senior High School's old buildings were dilapidated. Therefore, Tzu Chi has helped rebuild them starting in 2018. The first 56 classrooms were completed last year, while the second stage of construction will be completed in coming November. The names of the 4 buildings have come from Master Zheng Yan's words of blessing. Cultivate blessings even with scarce resources. Nurture wisdom by benefiting the public.
The administrative building is where the teachers work. I named it the Shoufu Building. We hope to harbor such ideal as we work. The meaning behind Ruye building is that students may study diligently day and night, seizing their time.
Besides Shoufu Building and Ruyue Building, there's also Chihui Building, which is equipped with ordinary and special classrooms, and Cai Kuan Building, which is the activity center.
The area on the first floor can accommodate more than 800 people. With the bleachers, we can accommodate more than 1,000 people.
Before the activity center was rebuilt, it could only accommodate about 500 people. Next year, it won't be necessary to build tents outdoor to hold graduation ceremony. Furthermore, the school is promoting vegetarianism. Starting from this semester, for 1 day a month, the school will provide vegetarian meals, hoping to raise everyone's awareness on protecting the earth. In the United States, volunteers from Tzu Chi Medical Center have gone to St. Jude Medical Center to promote vegetarianism. While leaving with these images, thank you for joining us. Goodbye.